What happens with early termination in an Ijara finance agreement? Imagine you're leasing an asset under an Islamic finance contract and suddenly need to end it sooner than planned. What happens next? Let's explore how early termination works in an Ijara agreement. In an Ijara contract, which is a Shariah-compliant leasing agreement, ending the lease early means either the owner or the user wants to stop the lease before the agreed period. Since these contracts are binding, both parties usually need to agree to the early end. Unilateral termination is only allowed in special cases like unforeseen events or if the asset has defects. This rule keeps things fair for everyone involved. The specific conditions for ending the lease early are written into the contract. These include any penalties or fees. Islamic finance rules prohibit unfair penalties, so any charges should only cover actual losses. For example, if the lessor loses rental income because the lease ends early, they can seek compensation for that. But this compensation must not be a penalty or excessive. It should reflect real damages or costs incurred. Since charging interest is forbidden in Islamic finance, any fees for early termination cannot be interest-based. They must follow Shariah rules and avoid unjust gains. When the lease ends early, the lessee must return the asset in the condition agreed upon. If the asset is damaged beyond normal wear and tear, the lessee might need to pay for repairs or damages. Some agreements may include a cooling-off period after signing, allowing the lessee to reconsider and end the lease without penalty. However, this is not always available, especially if the lessor has already made investments or arrangements for the asset. Practically, the lessee should carefully review the contract before signing to understand early termination rules. If they decide to end the lease early, they might need to pay a settlement amount, which could be based on remaining rent or a negotiated sum. Both parties should try to resolve early termination amicably to stay within Islamic ethical standards. In summary, ending an Ijara lease early depends on mutual agreement and the terms in the contract. Any fees must only compensate for actual losses and follow Shariah principles. This approach ensures fairness and respects the rights of both the lessor and the lessee while maintaining Islamic finance ethics.